Awesome, awesome. Good evening, everyone. Can you guys hear me well? Awesome, awesome. So thank you very much, Julio and Zoraida, for inviting me. I mean, I've known Julio and Zoraida for quite a few years now, since we used to live back up north before we moved to Florida. Kind of miss hanging out with them out there, a lot of networking and stuff like that. But soon we'll be out there and we'll hang out. But yeah, so my name is John Medina, owner of EEP Marketing and also Medina Ventures, a financial company. And we moved to Florida about 2019. So right now, my job is going to be to basically go down a few points here of the challenges that you guys have as contractors. But before I go there, right, I see that it's only a few of us. So I think we could take 30 seconds, Julio Zoraida, if that's okay with you. And just quickly have everyone introduce each other, because I do not know other than Julio and Zoraida. I think I've seen Teodoro before, but that's about it. So, so if you guys don't mind, just 30 seconds, if you guys can respect that time there. I'm going to give up one of my minutes, right, to have you guys kind of introduce yourself. So let's start with Marcos. I see Marcos had his camera on earlier. So Marcos, basically, we already know your name, where you're from, and your company, and what you do, man.
Yeah, I'm Marcos from Massachusetts, and I work as a life insurance agent for a company called Primerica, and we represent more than 30 companies.
Awesome. And Teodoro.
Escucho.
Sí, se puede tomar 30 segunditos en introducirse. Ya sabemos su nombre, simplemente dónde está y qué hace, cuál es su solución.
No, nada, yo soy Teodoro de los Santos, estoy desde Santo Domingo, República Dominicana. Yo soy abogado de los tribunales de la República. Trabajo para Somos Green Innovation con Julio Santos, Zoraida Rosado, y participo del programa Vida Balanceada que producen ellos mismos. Nosotros aquí en Santo Domingo nos dedicamos a varias actividades. Promovemos lo que son los sistemas de paneles solares que formalmente distribuye la compañía, y estamos siempre integrados en lo que son estas actividades, hermano John.
Excelente, Teodoro, muchas gracias. Y el caballero que puso su cámara, no sé su nombre, eso me disculpa. InnoStake. Me imagino, I assume that's the name of the company, right?
So we all speak Spanish at the same time, so that's a good thing. Nobody is who speak English speakers, they haven't jumped yet. But make sure that you guys have the names, their names of the company that we can see immediately. Okay, thank you so much, you guys.
Okay, hi everyone. I don't know if you prefer, you can speak Spanish better. I don't know, yeah. Ok, buenas noches. Mi nombre es Alexander Pulido. Yo soy cofundador de InnoStake. Básicamente nosotros somos un negocio, una compañía que está enfocada en consultoría empresarial, en temas de emprendimiento, fortalecimiento de los negocios, en temas de innovación y transformación digital.
Perfecto, perfecto. ¿Y su nombre cuál es? Disculpa.
Alexander Pulido.
Alexander, perfecto. Bienvenido. All right, so me quedo en inglés o en español, como ustedes prefieran.
Keep it.
I think Zoraida said English. I could read her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's English. Yeah.
I thought this was an English virtual meeting.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so we'll stay in English. Awesome. So, all right, so I was asked to basically open up here with some of the challenges in the industry, right? So I do see that we're in different industry here, but I think this sort of relates to that. Julio, go ahead.
Sorry, John, you're missing also Lunara Devers. She's connecting with us as well. She's going to actually tell us a little bit later on about the, she's going to give us some updates about the new codes in construction sites. Hi, Lunara.
Hi, how are you guys? So, como dijo Julio, Lunara Devers, la compañía es MDJ Inc. And yeah, so yeah, we'll be talking about construction, and I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you. Sorry, I almost missed you. I was looking at the cameras on, right? But awesome. So let's see here. So when it comes to the industry, right, we're gonna take about 2 minutes to talk about the challenges in the industry, right? When it comes to like, and I see some points here. By the way, these points, I appreciate Julio and Zoraida. They gave me the points. So, but I definitely understand what they are. So when it comes to like lack of loyalty in the industry, lack of knowledge, right? When it comes to the services that we provide, one thing is first, right? Making sure that as we go out there, we're going to talk about a program that's going to be beneficial for all of us. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, as long as you have a service that you provide, right? So I believe is going to go into that in a little bit, and how that's going to benefit all of us here. But when it comes to the challenges of lack of loyalty in the industry, right? For example, we're all business owners, or we work in a business, we provide a service. Sometimes clients, they just want to go out there and get a quote, right? So they're not loyal to anybody just yet. They're just going out there, they want to shop for prices, right? So knowing your craft, right? Just because you're the least expensive doesn't make you the best. And just because you're the most expensive also doesn't make you the best. All right. So knowing the difference there would be extremely beneficial when it comes to what we're going to be talking about here in a little bit, in the partnership with Somos Green, right? In homes innovation, right? So we're going to go on that part in a little bit here. But when it comes to the competition, right? I know in the list here, we have Angie's List Home Advisors. How many of you guys are, I know Marcos mentioned he's with Primerica. I'm very familiar with the company, right? I'm in Primerica too, by the way. That's my second business. But, and I know InnoStake, you mentioned that you do media, is that right?
Yeah, something related to support companies, entrepreneurships, small and medium companies, and their way to growth and to strengthen different areas, you know. Yeah, when they want to strengthen their business model, or maybe to develop strategies to compete.
Perfect. So that applies to us. Doesn't matter what service we provide, you know, knowing your competition out there, right? For example, when a client comes to you, right, what are some of those challenges that you're going to solve? Just because you give them better price doesn't mean that they're going to come with you, right? So sometimes having that knowledge will help you a lot. Hiring more staff, right? That's some of the challenges in the industry. I know, Marcos, I know you're the business model in the company very well. You got to hire a lot of people to grow, right? I believe that applies to every one of us here. You know, growing, this is my second and third business that I've grown. The first one was a challenge, right? Because it was all me doing all the work. That is not a business. That's self-employment. All right. And that is very challenging to scale when you're doing the work, right? So hiring more people and how to hire it, right? There's a process for it, right? I never even heard of SOPs until I hired a trainer, right? A coach. SOP stands for standard operating procedures, right? The SOPs is what's going to help you to plug in a dummy, right?
That's true.
I know the founder of A.O. Williams or Primerica, he said that this business got to be so simple that a dum-dum could do it. That applies to every business, right? For example, what Zoraida does, I seen Zoraida at work. She's a beast, right? I mean, you just give that woman a contract, she's going to make sure that it's closed, right?
She's actually closing more customers than me, honestly.
I heard from you. So I believe that. And I'm glad she's on the field too, right? Because she's doing her thing. But what she does, right, for her to duplicate herself, all she has to do is put it in paper and be able to train and duplicate with other people, right?
John, to interrupt you there.
Yeah.
I've always used a standard operating procedure. I have SOPs for everything I do.
I believe that.
It's just like a business plan. It's the best thing you can have.
That is true. And I testify to that. I've worked with them hand in hand, and she has everything in writing. So, you know, so I believe that. So hiring people, right? How do you do that? You know, that's some of the challenges in any business, right? To be able to duplicate yourself. I know they gave me 2 minutes. I'm not going to be able to elaborate on that, so I apologize. But when it comes to the industry for home service providers, right? The cost of goods, right? The cost of the materials that have increased. I mean, right now, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but usually inflation is about 2 to 3% a year. Not last year. Last year, it is said that more money was printed last year than the last 30, 40 years. That's a big problem, right? Therefore, inflation nationwide was about 7%.
7.9.
There, I knew Zoraida was going to correct me. I was looking at her. All right. And it's extremely high. In some states, even 9%, right? Like states like New York and California, those guys are always getting bombarded. But the cost of materials increasing, right? The cost of our services have to also increase. How do you pass that on to a client that have used your service over and over, and they come into you again and you're charging them more, right? Knowing your craft is very important. And again, the economy, inflation, right? Is happening, right? It's happening everywhere. It doesn't matter what you sell. right? Again, I'm going to use Marco because I'm familiar with the company that he's in. That company, the prices haven't increased just yet, but they increased a little bit. Very small, right? But not significant. But in other services, like if you're doing like repairing a house, windows, that cost went out significantly.
Absolutely.
Right? It is. If you want to do a roof, forget it. It's more expensive now. One of those, I saw memes in 2020 and 2021. I think they call it sheetrocks, right? They were saying that you could exchange a sheetrock for a car. That's how expensive they were. It's very expensive, right? So let's talk about the challenges to provide quality service to customers, right? That's the other thing there. And I found this out the hard way on my first company when I started printing T-shirts. One of my biggest order, I screwed up the whole order. So I lost money in that first big client that I had because my machinery wasn't working right. The quality wasn't there. The client acknowledged that. You know, obviously I'm honorable, so I went and redid it. I lost money in that deal. So the challenge is to provide a customer's support, right? Lack of responsibility. I know Julio always says, if I call you, call me back within 24 hours. You know,
that's fair, right? 24 hours is enough time to call somebody back in business, right?
That's extremely fair. And Julio corrected me back in the days when I met Julio, and I love Julio for this, man. He's very blunt. He's like, John, it's like 2.5 days, man. What are you calling me now? It's 24 hours, you know? And ever since Julio corrected me on that, he did it like 2 or 3 times. I always returned the phone call right away. Like last night, prime example. Can I get personal with you guys for a minute? Not too far. So that already knows and Julio that.
Yes.
TMI. But yesterday I was spending time with the family. I excused myself to go to the bathroom, and a client calls me. And non-emergency situation. It was like 9 p.m. at night. And I call her back. I text her, hey, I can call you in 15 minutes, right? You know, and I call her back. I said, if it's an emergency, call me back right away. If not, I'm available tomorrow morning. But I reached out to her right away because it was 9 p.m. Who calls someone at 9 p.m.?
Right? Somebody,
10 o'clock.
Somebody with no common sense.
Yeah. So she called me at that time. And then I call her back. She sent me a text. She just wanted my advice on something. So I almost got a little kind of like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to correct her. I was like, hold on, it's a good thing that she's thinking about me and she's reaching out to me, right? So I had to kind of correct myself at that point. But like Julio said, being responsible, calling people back right away. If someone wants a quote and you waited, even an hour could take you out of the game, right? Especially in the home.
And sometimes, John, not even a call, maybe a text, you know, a reply text. When you send a text to somebody else, you know, listen, let me call you back. I'm in the middle of something. I will call you back as soon as I can. People, they stay calm, you know, because they receive something from you.
Yeah. And that's what I did. I text her, hey, I'm available in 15 minutes, right? Just do that for your client. Because if someone does it for me and they're taking time out of their time to reply, I'm gonna do business with that person. Even if they're more expensive than somebody else. Absolutely. Because they're there for me. And lack of honesty, right? One thing that you got to be, you know, mindful in any business is being honest, right? And I'm going to share a personal example. Last month, by mistake, we billed a client twice. The invoice that was automated didn't go through. I called the client, hey, we didn't go through. I gave him 2 days. He's like, hey, you have my card, just run it. So I ran the invoice. But then the automation kicked in 2 days later. So I billed that client twice for the month. As soon as I saw that, I stopped what I was doing. I called the client. He was like, John, thank you for your honesty, dude. Don't worry about it. Just take that money for next month payment up front. That's okay. And that's what we did. But just for that man started respecting me even more, right? Because you're honest. All right. And lack of organizational skills. I'm going to wrap it up and pass it to Julio. Lack of organizational skills. You got to control your time. Not manage it, control it. Right. Again, little things like reaching out to someone and giving them the answer when you said you were going to give it to. That's very important. And reliability. Like if Julio and Zoraida send you a client, and I'm guilty of this, Julio have sent me people before and I've done a terrible job following up, right? Just be responsible.
You're improving, you're getting better, don't worry.
Thank you. But being responsible, right? If I send you one of my loyal clients and I say, hey, this gentleman, Teodoro, is going to do a great job on Marcos, or, you know, in a stake, he's going to do a great job for you, right? Just give him a call and they'll call you right away. And it goes 2 days, 3 days, and they haven't heard from you. That's going to make me look bad. And that's going to prevent me from giving you more customers later. So I think that fits into what we're going to talk about. But I'm going to pass it on to the great Julio. I mean, this guy, you know, he's a hustler. This guy's working, you know, day and night, knocking on doors, doing his thing.
Oh boy.
I'm like, oh man, I wish I could work as hard as Julio. But at least we're both bold, right? So we got something in common there. So I'm going to pass it on to Julio.
Before I come back to me, John, can you mention a little bit about the customer challenges too? Because a lot of customers, they're having the challenges of getting honest people, responsible people too. I know you mentioned the challenges that we as contractors we having, but what about the customers finding the right contractors?
Yeah. So on the customer side, I mean, you could go and make a Google search and reach out to a bunch of people about different services, right? That could be very challenging when it comes to, hey, am I going to find someone that's going to reply right away, going to provide an honest estimate, right? You've seen a lot of dishonest estimates out there. So therefore, customers now at this point, they stop trusting people, right? Sometimes customers, and I've done it, I'm guilty of this. Sometimes I'd rather give a job to a bigger company that I could hold accountable and liable than a little guy that I know is going to do a great job. But just because they're not responsible, I'd rather pay more and give it to the big guys, right? So at that point, that's going to hurt the bottom line for small businesses, right? And I think all of us here are small businesses. So I think that's, you know, being on top of things and providing a great customer support and being there for your customer and being honest, right? And delivering on your promises, that's very important. So back to you, Julio.
Absolutely. Thank you, John, for those wonderful personal example. So what we do, guys, the whole point of this is providing value to the customers. Let me ask this question. Who would like to provide more value to the customers? You know, when I say value to the customer, is besides of what you offer to the customer, it could be, you know, a life insurance like Marcos. It could be blueprint like Lunara, anything else, but bringing more value to the customers is actually engaging and getting more customers for you, more glue for you, right? And that's exactly what we come in. Have you heard about the Mass Save programs? We all probably hear about Mass Save, except you, Alexander, probably in Colombia. We don't have Mass Colombia yet, but we can have it there too. So Mass Save is one of the programs that we are affiliated here in Massachusetts that provide home energy solutions, making home more efficient. And I will allow Zoraida to even elaborate a little bit more about the Mass Save programs because she's the one running that program. Zoraida, let us know about that program that we can learn more.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, it's my pleasure. The Mass Save program is excellent. It provides a report for the homeowner. It helps the homeowner know their home more intimately. So what we do is Julio will refer someone to me, or someone will ask, how can I make my home more efficient? And what we do is we work with a company that helps us do that, that's affiliated with Mass Save. So I will run the reports, the bills, the electrical and the gas bill through Mass Save. They'll let me know if the person qualifies. If the person qualifies, and when I say qualify, the homeowner cannot be receiving a low income discount. Mass Save will not approve them if they are receiving help because that will take away from the people that are not receiving help. And basically this program is for anyone that's paying their bills on their own. Their bills are high, their energy and cost is high. So we want to provide them with as many savings and as many programs as we can. So if you're already receiving help, then we really can't give you help on top of help. So Mass Save will disqualify them. Now, if you do qualify, then that's when a technician will work with me. We'll send them to your home and they will do an overall no cost energy audit. Meaning they will check everything from the windows to the insulation to the attic to see if they needs to be sealed. They will check the heating system to make sure that the toxic fumes are not coming into the home. They'll check the electrical. They'll check everything to make sure everything's up to code. And then after that, once they do that, now it's the solution part. Now we go into solving the problem. We go into solving, what can we do? Do we need to seal here? Do we need more insulation? Should we upgrade this very, very old heating system that's costing them a fortune in the winter? So that's basically what the Mass Save program is, making a home more energy efficient and helping the customer save. Because right now, with everything that's going on in the economy, any little bit will help, and anything that you can do to lower those bills, to remove something, to stop using something in your home that you really don't need, it's a great help.
Absolutely. Yes. Fantastic.
And by the way, before I forget, I'm sorry, Julio, there are rebates. So that means depending on the cost of, let's say, upgrading a heating system, you can get thousands of dollars back. You won't get half of it or 100%, but you'll get something to, some sort of supplement. So it's always helpful to get something back.
Absolutely. And it's good to know that every state has different programs, but the best program that we have is in Massachusetts. I've been comparing this program to any other states like Florida, like Maryland, and nobody offer what the Mass Save offer in Massachusetts. So if you bump into any of your clients, your customers, please mention these programs because it's beneficial for them and it's obviously good for you. Another programs that we have, so we just mentioned the reduced energy through the Mass Save. Another programs that we also have is produce your own energy. We all familiar with solar energy, solar panels. We are familiar with solar panels. Is the best way to produce your own energy using renewable resources like solar. Solar is three ways that we provide for to get solar. Number one is the purchase auction, the finance, and also the lease. All three auctions there are available in the whole United States. Okay. We also include in Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. So any customer that you bump into those places, you can refer to us. We also have a bonus that we offer for you just to say thank you, take your time to express this program to your clients, because it's very important to, like I said, providing more information to your customers that is beneficial at the end of the day for them, right? So another solution that we also providing is the Somos Green Homes. And that's when you are coming in these type of meetings that we host in this meeting every month. The idea of this meeting is to find out if that's something that is beneficial for you as well. We're expecting more construction people, more electricians, plumbers. Luck is not in yet. But this is exactly the whole program is about. Normally, John Medina, he was talking about different challenges from the contractors' perspectives to the customers. We all have different challenges. But with these programs, we can just be able to connect those two, the customers and the contractor. That's the whole point of this program. Somos Green Homes can provide a bilingual assistant, somebody who speaks English and Spanish, that can help you in the process and can be the bridge between the customers, like I said, and the contractor. We're thinking about probably office space in the future, and that's something, depends on the feedback that we listen from you guys too. Potential customers every month. Who doesn't? Everybody's looking for more expansion in their business. We can help you to expand your business, promotional exposures in the television, radio, flyers, website, Facebook, and different other channels that we use to catch those customers as well. We can provide you, like I said, minimum one potential customer each month. And that's very valuable for you.
Well, hopefully more.
Hopefully more, yes, but at least
more. One sounds, hopefully more.
No, but we're trying to commit, at least we start with one, that's the commitment that we have. All right. So now let's, so far I don't have Moises online, Zoraida. I don't have Moises online.
What about
Locke? Supposed to be. Locke is not here yet. No 1G. It's a few people that they've been receiving actually leads from us from this program.
Well, they basically working closely with Somos Green Homes. Whenever we have a client, a homeowner that needs repairs or needs an electrical upgrade, upgrade, then they get the assignment. Now, Locke is our main electrician. He does all of our installations. That means that if I go to a home and the person is ready for install for solar, and the meters are inside and they need to be upgraded up to code, or if there's one meter that's connected to the common area or anything like that, Locke will come in and he'll upgrade everything, and we are able to install. So Locke right now does all of our electrical upgrades. He does an excellent job. He's been working with a solar company for many years, and he can just look at electricals, meters and things like that, and he knows automatically what material he needs, how much it's going to cost, and it's been working really well. So if we can have more electricians that have that experience, that would be wonderful. Right now, he gets all the clients.
If you know anybody in this industry, please feel free to refer to us, because we're willing to work with these people. Moises Lopez is another good testimonial. Moises has been receiving leads from us for a very long time. He does
all of our construction outside, anything that has to do with paving, driveways, concrete, doing new stairs, creating, a wall, a brick wall or a stone wall like he does. I have him come to our home and he does the work here, so I can see how he does it, how much the materials cost, what's the process, how does he do his customer service. I have to keep putting him in tests because I need to make sure that when I send him into a home, that he does as well as he does with me, and how he treats me, he has to also treat my customers. So I'm willing to, I can speak on his behalf to say that his work is excellent. His turnaround is also great, and the prices, he will work with you according to your budget.
Absolutely. So another value that we actually adding here is also providing leads in other states like Florida. Who doesn't want to go, in the winter time, get away from this monster right here and go into Florida and spend time with John Medina there. Every construction people, they want to do that. So we provide
John's house.
No, not at the John's house, in the hotel, or the bottom line is to get a project. That way you don't go to Florida just to do nothing. You go for a week or you go for a month working in a project, and the project can be, that we find a project, and we're providing, that's the whole idea that we have with this program, Somos Green Homes. Talking about the testimonial, again, let me give you an example. A couple of years ago, I met with I closed a customer. I put solar in her homes, and she referred to me a roofer. She said, "Oh, Julio, you have to reach this guy. This guy is very good. His job is excellent." And I took her advice and I called the guy. Just a simple way that he responds on their phone. Nobody wants to do business with this guy. Just a simple way, a simple phone call from somebody who's going to provide you leads, who know how many leads, because roofer and electrician is the most leads that we can provide. And I also know, let me give you the opportunity to work with this guy. He has another good testimonial because he's been closing so many roof things to us because I gave them the opportunity to work with us and just do what he needs to do, which is doing the roof. And we do the rest, helping him with the customer service satisfaction. So let's move right now to Zoraida, that she's actually going to talk to us about, now about a little bit about the program. She's going to tell us exactly what we're expecting from the contractors as well.
Well, not really what we're expecting, but also let them know a little bit about the program and what their benefits are. So Somos Green Homes is a program of Somos Green Innovations, which consists of a team of independent contractors that are assigned projects with homeowners. These projects are of construction nature, renovating an attic, adding a new bathroom, upgrading an old bathroom, renovating the basement, electrical, replacing a roof, siding work, plumbing, landscaping, painting, putting in a new floor, etc. Anything that can make the burden of a homeowner a little less heavy. We want, when we go into a home, If we don't have the resource, we try to look for it. They may need something that has nothing to do with construction. They may need someone that can help them with their accounting. They may need someone that can help them create a budget, something. And they're saying, hey, I really don't trust anyone. I don't know anyone. Do you know of someone? So we always like to get together with different people and different organizations and companies to find out, what do you know how to do? Because I may come across a homeowner, somebody, an individual that may need your services. And I would love to, send them over to you because I know your work, I know your services, and you are somebody that we can trust. So the point is that you will not need to compete with these clients or compete for these clients. After working closely with you and seeing your work, we will assign the project to you. We will take care of promoting your company and your services. We will mention you whenever our homeowner asks for a certain service. We will add your logo and services to our flyers, website, Facebook, brochures, and mention you during radio promotions or television promotions. So you would be part of all those things. So anyone that's looking for a type of service knows you want this service, go to Somos Green Homes. They will have that service for you. They're reliable. They are dependable. You know that you're going to get good service. You're going to get a good price. And then they're not going to treat you just like anyone else. So you can also be included in the events. If you are interested, you can come to the events and interact with the potential customers. Let the community know who you are. If you haven't been in an environment like that, we're more than happy to have you. And then, of course, for this collaboration to be able to cover materials and television and radio and all those things, we ask to receive 5% of the total estimate of that service that you're going to provide, that lead that we are providing to you.
5%. I think that's fair. That's fair, 5%, right? That's fair,
I'm not
5%
asking for
for
monthly payments. I'm not asking for $2,000, $5,000. No, I give you leads, and yeah, that's basically it. 5% of the total estimate.
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah, if I can add to that, the value of the 5%, right? The value of the 5%. I mean, you're not paying anything up front, right? I do marketing, so I know the cost of marketing, right? You're not paying anything up front. You're not buying leads, right? We already know the best customer that you could have, the easiest close you could ever have is a referral.
Correct.
Right? If someone refers you someone, you already come recommended, they're just going to say, hey, listen, give me the price. I already know you're good because Zoraida said you're good. Just do it. Right? You're not going to go there and give it a hard sell. So that 5%, trust me, that is extremely generous. And if you know how Zoraida and Julio get these leads, right? They're putting sweat equity into this, right? The clients trust them. They know that they're good at what they're doing. So therefore, when they refer to someone, it's not lightly, right? So trust me, 5%, that's pretty good. If I was doing it, I would charge like 50%, right? All right. So 5% is pretty amazing.
That's a start, John. 5% is a start. You know me, I'm a businesswoman, John. I wanted 25%, but I'm being gracious because we're beginning this. We want people to, to be able to join and not have to compete and wait. Oh, I was supposed to get that, but he got it. No, let me know about your services. Let me work with you. Let me see what you do. I may have you work on my house so I can see. And most of the contractors, they do that. You have no idea. Julio says to me, every time Julio comes home, he says, another landscaper? Why do we have another landscaper? And I said, no, I'm testing them all out first. So I'm literally supporting all these landscapers to see which one is going to give me the service that I want, because I'm very picky. So I know if they do a good job with me and I'm happy, I will recommend them to everyone.
Fantastic. Great. So now let's hear from the MDJ Incorporator, which is Marco Devers engineering team. We have Lunara Devers, her daughter, and she's with us today. She's going to talk to us about what is new in the construction side. Lunara, take it away.
Hi, can you guys hear me well? Pretty good. Okay, cool. All right, so thank you so much for having me. This is really exciting. This whole week preparing, I said to myself, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here, like kind of having the imposter syndrome, But anyway, here we go. Julio, thank you so much for your patience and all of this time that I've known you. I've just been like, I feel like I've just been trying to like keep my head above water these last few years with everything that's happening, and with, I mean, you know, all of the work, all of the things that you were talking about before, John, was like, it was so stressful to hear the price of materials and things like that. You know, it was so real, but it also reminds me it's such a privilege to be here and to share some information. So basically, what I like to do, how I like to spend my day is Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. I manage the office, but the office is usually in my car. If I'm lucky, the office is in my car and I'm in the field, which is, you know, probably facilitating a supervision with these building inspectors. They're very kind. They have helped me learn a lot. Right. So I think that maybe like that's a starting point, because that kind of gives us, you know, and I always tell people, I'm like, it's like a recipe, you know, especially when they don't follow the recipe, which is like a set of plans. I'm like, you know, like I gave you the key. Right. You know, I'm trying here. Like I gave you the key. Like, you know, for example, as homeowners, people have the right to make their homes better and everything. So we try to help facilitate that. And there are things like there are inspections at every stage. So, you know, I wrote down some notes. Because I mean, I think like, again, I'm like back to the cake. Again, you know, you want to inspections at every stage, and you're going to do things, you know, like, you know, one thing at a time. And I don't know, I forgot to mention, and I'm sorry, I do have a construction supervisor license, and I also have a real estate license. So if anybody's interested in buying a piece of land, building a 1 to 2 family house or 35,000 cubic feet and selling it, you know, like, I'm your person.
Absolutely. And in that aspect, Lunara, I know that you guys specialize in figuring out what is the code in every construction site. Just let us know, for example, to do an attic. What is the first thing that you guys do when somebody goes to you guys, Lunara or Marcos? I want to do an attic in my house. What's the first step that you guys take?
See, that's interesting. So there's 2 ways to look at it. You know, it's the addition of habitable space. And I remember when we were talking some basic stuff. So habitable space, like for example, a bedroom or a room can't be less than 70 square feet. Less than 70 square feet, you know, and like I was telling some, you know, architects, you know, this week, you know, can't be less than 70 square feet, 7 feet high. I wish 70 feet high, 7 feet high. 2 windows, emergency egress 20 by 24. Otherwise it's a box, you know? So you need those, that's a definition of habitable space. And you know, anything other than that is not habitable space. So, you know, a room that's smaller than 70 square feet, you know, it doesn't have windows, or is not 7 feet. It's not meant for you to sleep in, right? So it could be an office, right?
Yeah.
There could be storage, but it's not habitable.
Got it.
You can't live there.
Absolutely. And also a ladder, right? Has to have access to a ladder that people they can walk through in case there are emergencies, right?
Yeah, emergency egresses. So in a dwelling unit, you're going to have 2 emergency egresses. Usually you have one in the front, one in the back. But you know, if you have like your second story, you have to go down some stairs to get outside. You know, that's why you also have windows in bedrooms where the fire department will go and get you. You know, so that's so that would be like, for example, if you're doing an addition in your attic and you're not just doing finished space. So I have posed the argument, you know, the discussion with the city officials of, I'm just like, well, why do people have to have like a rotten attic space or like a rotten basement? It's finished space, but it's not habitable. So, as I think like, for example, like in real estate, they'll tell you, you have the right to peaceful and quiet enjoyment. So, you can't like, you can't be doing illegal stuff out of your house. And one of those things is like, for example, having an illegal bedroom in a basement where somebody could potentially be very injured. So.
Got it. And especially, don't say that in Lawrence. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. So let's just go back to the Q&A right now. Let's just let's connect with now we know exactly what the program is a little bit about. So let's open up to questions of what we presented to you guys. What's your thoughts about it? Any questions based on the programs, 5%? Everybody think that the 5% that we asking for any project that we give it away to any contractor, plumber, electrician. Do you guys think that's fair? 5% of the project?
Are you serious asking that question?
No, I mean,
John elaborated. Oh
no.
my goodness. John's the expert on marketing, promotions, marketing and all that for years. He's telling me 5% is too little. So come on, really?
Think about this. What about in a space, when you go there and you can find a trustworthy electrician, somebody you can trust, a reliable electrician, a reliable plumber, a reliable contractor. Just one place that you can find all of them at the same place. It's not something. One-stop shop. It's not fantastic, guys. That's great, right? Imagine the challenge of breaking, you don't have to be hiding and putting different assistants, because you're going to have one assistant for you, bilingual assistant, somebody who can help you in the project. One of the challenges that I noticed is a lot of projects, they stuck in the limbo. I don't know if you agree with me. They stop in the limbo just because maybe the customer doesn't have the funds to do the project. Maybe the contractor never get back to the customer. That things can happen all the time, right? And they just kept in the limbo, and nobody knows why the project is not moving forward. So we trying to simplify the process to make it simple. But let us listen from you guys. Any questions or any thoughts about what we just talking about?
If you guys don't mind me to add to that, right? I went online and I did a quick research what Julio was talking. I didn't know the percentage, only for Amazon. But for Uber Eats, they charge you 30% if it's a delivery. If the client is going to pick up, you own the restaurant, and the client is going to pick up the food, right? Uber Eats have nothing to do with it other than they find you the customer. It's 15%, right? When it comes to Amazon charges in average about 30%, right? But according to Google here, they charge you anywhere from 6% to 25%, average of 13%. I know people that have Amazon stores, and it's an average of about 30%. If you want to send your products there for them to find you the customer and ship it out for you, it's about 30%, right? It doesn't include all the other fees and taxations. So that part there, the 5% is not a big deal. All day, every day, guys. Julio Santos, if you got clients from me, listen, just send them my way, 5%, consider it done, right? I haven't paid you up front. Good. But right?
Good. There we go. You have a deal.
That's a pretty big deal right there, right? Because again, the easiest customers to close is a referral, right? You don't have to convince them, none of that stuff. It's pretty amazing.
And imagine this. We already did it. We're bringing you the person, and all they want to know is, can you do the job? Boom, that's it. I've already run everything down. I've already talked about you. They know about you. They trust you. All they're saying is, get them here. Let's get the job done. Well, how much is it going to cost? That's it.
That's it. Literally. That's literally it.
And sometimes I even find the funding for them. Are you serious? I find the funding for them. We have different programs that will help them get the funding. And then again, a lot of times we donate the funding. I'll say, you know what? I know that, especially for elderly, I will definitely pay for it. I've done it so many times. If I see that you're on Social Security and we need to do something, remove mold, fix a roof, fix a leak, I'm more than happy to pitch in and get it done.
Absolutely.
And
I would like to ask Julio, and I agree with John and what Zoraida said, that we are not looking for that customer. You guys, with your expertise and with your experience, are bringing to the table those people that you will not find it unless that you get in touch with Julio and Zoraida. So I think it's a great idea. I agree with John that it can be a little bit more, and then you just being generous with everybody here to help them out and to grow business. That is not your business, but it can increase other people business in the group.
Absolutely, Marcos. Thank you,
Because
Marcos, for that.
and the reason why we're doing it, we're being so generous, is because my focus is on the customer. My focus is on the homeowners. I don't want them to lose their homes. There's a lot, and I know John knows this, there's a lot that we go through to obtain our first, second, or third home. And a lot of times we use all of our savings and we take from wherever we can. Now we have the home. We have insurance on the home if there's a fire. We have insurance for this. We have flood insurance. But do we have an insurance for repairs? Somos Green Innovations is that insurance, but there's no monthly fee. The homeowner never pays a monthly fee. The homeowner picks up the phone and says, all right, I have this situation. And then what I say, I don't say to them, oh, it's going to cost you this. I say, no, hold on. Let me go check it out. I'll take photos. And then what I do is I do the homework of who's going to give me the money? Where can I get the money? Should I put solar on their home? And that way I can get the money from that. Should I call the connection that I have at Mass Housing? Should I do this program? Should I call Mass Save? That's what I do. And then at the end of the day, whatever little bit is left over that I could not find funding for, that's when I present it to the homeowner. And if the homeowner still says, no, Zoraida, I have nothing, then that's when we step in and we say, okay, then we need to cover this. So we can't make it any easier. Again, the contractors, we love them. We like working with them. They're great. But my focus and my responsibility is towards the homeowner, making sure that that family is okay. They do not lose their home and they can keep doing what they're doing and not have to choose between paying their bills, paying, repairing a roof, repairing a leak, changing the boiler, or feeding their family, or getting clothes for school, or getting anything that they need for their family. Don't even think about it. Just call us. Keep doing what you're doing and just call us.
Absolutely, Zoraida. Thank you. So I know we were talking about the customer challenges, the contractor side challenges, but let me tell you about my challenge too.
Oh no, Julio, the time's up. Time's up,
Okay,
right, John? John, time's up, right?
Let me just be quick. One of the biggest challenges that I have is, for example, when I go to a house, the first thing that I do, and I train all the guys just doing the same thing, just notice what is around. How's the cesspits? How is the roof? How is the electrical system? I always check in, and I'm not an electrician. I'm not a roofer. But with my experience, I can see what is wrong, and I can recommend somebody to do the job. The biggest challenge is to find people to do the same thing for me, for my business. Like if you go to close somebody for plumber, for example, and you notice the person doesn't have solar panels, why don't you open the conversation and just mention, have you thought about using solar to power the house and reduce the energy, the energy that you're using right now? Have you thought about saving some money? So the contractors out there, I've been trying to help them to train them how to switch right from one aspect that you are sort of doing into something else, but bring, like I said, more value to that customers. So that's my biggest challenge, just to do the transition from one place to another to the contractors outside. Any thoughts, any questions, guys?
Yeah, if you guys don't mind me I think we forgot to mention this. Julio, let's say I refer someone to you, right? Let's say Marcos, let's say Lunara refer someone to Somos Green, and and they end up getting solar. What's in it for them?
$1,000. I will pay them $1,000 for each person that they refer.
Let me say in Spanish, maybe Teodoro, he couldn't understand. Teodoro, $1,000 $1,000 por referir a una gente. Si tú eres un plomero
Yes.
que vas a una casa y tú estás haciendo un trabajo de plomería y notas que la persona no tiene paneles solares, ¿qué te impide decirle a esa persona? ¿Por qué tú no pones paneles solares aquí también en tu casa? Toma, llama a Julio, a Zoraida, la gente de Somos Green que te pueden ayudar también.
And it's a guaranteed payment because I know that I was just at a customer and the pastor, I guess, referred a few people to this certain individual. And the pastor said, we never got paid. We never got paid. And that is something that I take very, very seriously. You refer someone to me and trust me, you don't have to call me. I will be calling you to let you know that I have your payment. We pay every single referral, every single one of them. And when a customer calls me, a homeowner calls me directly, that homeowner receives $1,200. And I just paid one homeowner just now $1,200 because they called me directly. They heard me on the radio and they called me and they said, I know you're giving away $1,200. I want solar.
Absolutely, absolutely. Give you an example. Somebody, right now I belong to a BNI group, and somebody in the group, he's referred somebody to me. And he said, Julio, this person asked me about solar. And he was expecting me to, to give him like a thank you. But I stopped back and I said, why didn't you brought it up? Why didn't ask the customer? Why you have to wait until the customer tells you about solar? You can actually mention to the customers. You're already talking to the customer under the table. Just talk to them and let them know the solar is also beneficial for them. So, any thoughts, guys? John, any other things?
No, I think that's it. You guys wrapped it up. And I mean, I think we all pay an electric bill, right? I haven't bought solar yet because I don't own a house where I live in right now, right? I'm waiting for next year to buy it. I'm waiting for the market to do what the market does. I don't know. She's in real estate. It happens all the time. We're in a bubble right now. I'm waiting for the little baby to pop, right? Right now, if you guys don't know, in Florida, we are the highest growth in cost. For example, there was a house that I lived in last year. They sold it for $279,000 or so. Right now, they renovated, they changed a little bit on the house, right? Nothing major. Did the kitchen, blah, 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 the bathroom. It's going for $400,000 right now.
Wow.
Right? Last year, 270 something. Now it's 400. They didn't spend more than 20,000 doing the kitchen and the bathrooms, right? But the cost of real estate has gone up incredibly high. The cost of rent has gone Florida right now. If you guys didn't know, right? I think everybody's dying to know this, right? Right? All right. Florida is the highest rental state right now in the United States, right. And the highest growth of rent increase, right? Since like just the past 2 years. Everyone is migrating out here. Like, I love being out here, right? As business owners, you go and you pay taxes. Guess what? There's no state taxes, no state income tax. You don't have to pay that, right? You just pay the federal, get them off your back, right? It's the best state to live in. So other than that, I'm not telling you guys to move to Florida, but I'm saying to move to Florida, right? That's it from my end. Pleasure being here. I hope to see you guys in a month, but I'll let Julio and Zoraida close out.
Absolutely. Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody, for participating. And the idea of this is continue every month. For example, we need electricians right now in Springfield. I got a job.
Yes, please, someone give me an electrician for Springfield so I can put solar on this home. I can't get anyone to drive down there.
Right now, we're trying to bring more market in that area, Connecticut, Providence, in Florida. If you know people around the construction sites, please send it our way that we can actually provide more leads to these people. So next meeting is going to be in July the 10th at the same time. So we're testing to see what it works for, for the contractors. We've been trying Fridays. We've been trying Saturdays. Now we're trying Sundays to see if that, is that worth. So, but let's make it happen. So next July 10th at 7, and just put in your calendar. And thank you in reward for Elizabeth. Elizabeth did a good job just connecting and sending emails to everybody, reminders. She did a good job. All right. So let's get applause to Elizabeth, please. Well, close it out, Zoraida. So,
thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing, collaborating. And like Julio was saying, we have another meeting next month. And if you know anyone in this field that we can use and also increase their clientele, please let us know. And if you want to also, if you want me to add you as a resource, I can also meet with you, find out what you do, learn a little bit more about your business. And that way, when I go to present your business, I can do it efficiently and be able to represent you according to how you represent your company.